Now, the last few days I've been trying to use the wrap sample that Dave Midgley sent me. And this is the part that takes the most abuse on the R1. It's right behind the front wheel. And this little triangle, I thought this would be a good part. So I'm trying to do simple parts first before I attempt anything too sophisticated. I'll snap those parts off. They come off with Zeus fittings. See if I can get the wrap around that little triangle. And you can see these parts really do take a beating. So what I'm going to do is just take a little rubbing compound and get out any of the scratches, any of the big gouges that are in there. But I've painted these several times, and that because the front wheel is always spraying stones and salt and dead mice and everything up there. This always takes a beating. I'm hoping that little piece of triangle of the plastic will be a good part to practice on, because I'm trying to do this methodically. Small, easy parts, working my way up to bigger and bigger parts. Well, I've been practicing on very simple parts. This is a very simple part. I'm only going to do this front part because this is where it takes the beating. But like anything, even a paint project, having a part reasonably clean in the very beginning really helps. It'll help that whether it's paint or this vinyl sticking, it's got to stick to something clean. And my bike, well, this one, I'm sure your bike too, your parts have wax, silicone, oil, dirt, dead turtle residue, anything that that front wheel can throw up at it. But this will be a nice little part, a little project for today. And as I'm moving on to more and more complex projects, well, we'll see what we can learn. It's real apparent to me what I've learned in just playing around here for the last couple days. What's really apparent, it's a giant help if you have a helper. The two things that are really important. If I'm holding this part in my hand and unless I'm an octopus, I need to be able to hold a heat gun and hold a squeegee at the same time. I learned that right away. Well, I kind of knew that was going to be the way. But if you have a loose part and you have a helper that can hold it, or you can somehow, in this case, I guess I could put a bolt into the table or something. Well, just being able to hold it, then you can heat it and stretch it if you have a helper or a pet octopus or something. But what I found out right away was that really, really difficult to be, that third hand is really a problem. So what I decided to do is I'm going to wait until somebody has a complex part they want to try to wrap, have them come over here, and then together with two people, one person can be holding a part, one person can be holding one end of the material. And I've also noticed this material that I got the sample of is relatively thick. I'm not sure how thick it is relative to the other stuff, but it's probably really good for this application where the stones are going to be hitting this. It's probably going to be way better than if the material were like saran wrap. And I've painted this part so many times, it's crazy, but this front part, if I can get a nice little triangle in there today, a nice one little upgrade a day, I'll be happy. So here's my quick little thought here. I have a piece of scrap from the other pieces I've been using. Hope this is going to be big enough. Yeah, it will be. What I'm going to try to do is beat the system here to a certain degree. Peel the backing off. Again, each time I do this, I'm trying to do it just a little bit differently so I can get a feel for what's going to be the easiest way to do this. Small parts, of course, it's a totally different thing to do small parts. Whew, that laid on there pretty nice. Now, I didn't take the backing off yet. Get that right on there. I want to put a few drops of water on there just so I can lay that in. Yeah, it's going to be nice. Okay, so now what I have that in there, just press it down by hand. It's a relatively simple part. Now I can get the material to come apart. This is where it's really nice if you have In fact, why don't I just go get the glasses? When I forget the glasses, it's death to a part. Okay, so I got to use. It's a bitch getting old. So I gotta get this pulled apart. I figure I just let the camera run for this little small part like this. Now it really is, it's really difficult when you do it this way to get the material. Actually, what I should have done is get this material. I didn't even think about it. See, it separates by itself up here. You can just catch the razor in there or whatever. Like I lied, you can't catch the razor in there. But again, I think this material is on the thick side of the stuff they use to wrap cars with, but I'm not sure. And it seems like it would be really appropriate for this, or for the front of a car. I know Joe Roselli has the front of his car wrapped with some kind of clear material. So by using this method, I get that part off. And now, just take my ordinary micro, let me turn the camera here. Ordinary microfiber right here. I still need to get that felt wrapper. And I want to end this right at the line. Ooh, this is going to work pretty nice. Okay. Now I noticed one thing, if you try to do this without water, it's almost impossible to get the last of the air bubbles out. That really makes it difficult, but when you see you can't get an air bubble out and you know you're doomed, just pull it up. In this case, stretch it back down. And voila, it's out. Now, let me just hit this with some heat. See, this is where it really is nice if you have a helper. He can hold the part or just hold the heat gun. Makes it very, very easy. The material only heats to a certain temperature, and then it gets ugly. Is the best way to put it. Now, when the material's warm, if I use my little spatula, not good, because it doesn't have the felt tip like the real one does. But I'm not doing big parts yet. And so far, if you're just doing little parts like this, it seems like you can get away with just using a microfiber in your fingertips up to a point. But again, I do have an air bubble there that will not, there it goes, now it's out. I have one here. And just like, all I can relate it to is just doing a motorcycle seat. The material, you just keep pulling it toward the corners, pressing it down. Oh, looks like we got it. One little air bubble, there we go. Now, I know they make glue for the edges. I'm not sure that, well, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to leave this, just warm it up. Try to get some of that. This is certainly good enough for our little front piece that, you know, most people wouldn't even notice this, but it used to bother me when I'd clean the bike that I'd see this and I'd say, God, geez, especially after riding on a day after they salt the roads or something. All right, so there's a couple of things that are real apparent to me at this point in fooling around with this material. Number one, it definitely is a unique skill to doing this, and I've trimmed this off with a brand new razor, but you've got to be real careful about trimming this off. And it seems like the most difficult part of this is getting what amounts to be the last of the air bubbles out, which I guess it's, and I'm not sure. I guess it's a skill you just have to work on, and we will. But anyway, what we're going to do, this will definitely protect the paint. There's no doubt about it. This will be a lot easier to replace this piece of vinyl than to repaint the part. Repainting this part, especially if you got to clear and buff it out. But again, my concern is that no matter how you do this, the shine that you have here, the smoothness and the shine, is not even close, in this case, to black. Black really shines nice. And there's nothing, a buffed out finish even feels nicer than this. So I wouldn't want to do a big cosmetic part of the bike, but something like this, where it's the equivalent of having the front of your car protected. This will protect it, I'm sure. I was going to run out to the garage and put these parts on, but I guess I'm going to wait a few minutes. Oh man. Now, there's only a few Zeus fittings holding this on, but this is one of the important things that it's really annoying to me that you know, it takes a beating, but there's not much you can do about it. So I'm going to snap this on and hope I can escape back into the house. We're having some kind of, I call this a major meltdown storm. Look at what a mess. Holy mackerel. I guess I won't have to add any water to the pond tonight. Anyway, we're that far away from another part wrapped. Each time we do one, we learn something, but there's no way that I can ever see that the quality of that wrap, the shine, matches the paint. And that was the biggest thing I wanted to find out. I wanted to see if that shine, that absolute totally level diamond look that buffed out paint has, if I was going to be able to get that on a piece of vinyl. But on the downside, on the good side of this, we pick up a big stone chip or anything, I could replace that in a matter of about 10 minutes. So it's 6 of one, half a dozen of another. I'm sure as time goes by, we're going to find other things to use it for. And thank you again to Dave Midgley for getting us that sample. We've enjoyed learning what we've learned so far, and there's more to come. So I think that's a nice little upgrade, and hopefully protect that part just a little bit more, make painting it less frequent. Again, we're learning as we go. I'm trying to share what I learn, and with every part we learn a little bit more. So hope you've enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.